Imagine this. You've been on a journey for 40 years. 40! Behind you is nothing but desert, but right in front of you is the promise. And in this incredible, pivotal moment, a leader points to a giant mountain on the horizon to teach a lesson about who we are, how we see the world, and what a promise really means. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're on the plains of Moab. For the people of Israel, this is it. This is the last stop. After all this time, they can literally see their destination. You can just feel the excitement in the air, right? A mix of hope and, yeah, probably a little bit of fear. And it's right here that their leader, Moses, gathers them for one last, crucial lesson. And with those powerful words, Moses points to this magnificent, snow-capped mountain way out in the distance. Now, this isn't just any mountain. It's a symbol. It's the landmark, the boundary marker for their entire future. It's the physical proof of the divine promise they have been waiting for their whole lives. And this is where the story gets really, really interesting. See, Moses doesn't just point out the mountain. He uses it to introduce a much bigger idea. He's about to reveal that this one single piece of rock is seen and named in totally different ways by the different people who live around it. Yep, he's about to give them a masterclass in perspective. He explains that 3 completely different cultures look at the very same peak and call it something entirely different, and each name tells you something really important about who they are. So Moses lays it out for them. To the Israelites, it's called Hermon. To the Sidonians, it's Sirion. And to the Amorites, it's Senir. 3 names, 3 different points of view, all focused on the same mountain. So let's break down what these names actually mean. You know, each of these names is like a little window into the soul of a nation. It tells us how they see the world, what they care about, and how they relate to the land itself. Okay, first up, the Israelite name Hermon. This means something like sacred or even forbidden. And that makes perfect sense, right? For a people whose entire identity is wrapped up in their relationship with God, this massive peak that seems to touch the sky, well, it's a place of awe. It's a symbol of divine power. But then you have the Sidonians. They saw it completely differently. They were traders, sailors living on the coast. So from their perspective, way out at sea, they'd see the sun glinting off its snowy top. And to them, it looked like a polished piece of armor, a brilliant breastplate. So they called it Sirion, or shining armor. It's all about their point of view. And finally, we have the Amorites. These guys were a nation of warriors. Their name for the mountain, Senir, also brings armor to mind, which is a pretty powerful image for a warlike people. But their name might also be more straightforward, simply meaning what you see, snow-covered. It's a name that reflects both their focus on power and just plain reality. Okay, so we've got these 3 different names, 3 different perspectives, but Moses' lesson doesn't stop there. This is where he pulls it all together and pivots to a much bigger, unifying truth. And this right here, this is the heart of the whole message. Moses basically says, look, it doesn't matter what people call it. The human names, the different points of view, they're all secondary. What really matters is the one single promise from God. The one who made the mountain also made all the people who name it. And in his eyes, every name, every perspective is known. So you see what he's doing. He's setting up a powerful contrast. On one side, you have the diversity of human experience. Hermon, Sirion, Senir. But on the other side, you have the singular, unchanging divine promise. The ultimate truth of the land isn't defined by how we see it, but by the one who promised it in the first place. So this was way more than just a little geography lesson. Moses was planting a deep, profound teaching in the minds of his people, right before they faced their biggest challenge ever, actually building their new nation. He wanted this mountain and its story to be something they'd never forget. First, a reminder of just how big and beautiful God's creation is. Second, a heads up that they're going to meet a lot of different people out there, with their own cultures and their own ways of seeing things. And finally, and this is the most important one, a reminder of the absolute certainty of God's promise. A promise that stands taller and firmer than any mountain. So the story of this one mountain leaves us with a pretty powerful question, doesn't it? It shows us that true leadership isn't just about pointing to the finish line. It's about preparing people for the complex, messy, diverse world they'll find when they get there, and grounding them in a truth that's bigger than any single point of view.